Hi everyone, this is Catherine Galloway, and it's good to see some familiar faces and some new faces in this class. Let's see, my first year field placement was with a substance abuse and addiction treatment center, outpatient treatment center. We really emphasized working with families there. We did a lot of individual and group therapy, but then we also would bring in families for individual sessions, for check-ins, and just kind of make sure everybody was on the same page. And then we also provided a family group about 2 times a month, and that was really helpful for families to come in, hear from other families that were going through a lot of the same things that they were going through, and it served also as like an education purpose, because a lot of people have different views on addiction and if it's a disease or not, and the disease concept is kind of new for a lot of people and misunderstood. So we took that opportunity to educate families and help them learn about what their family members are going through and what that means and things like that. So family was a big part of the treatment that we provided at my field placement. So the basic structure of the family system that in which I was raised. So I am the youngest of 4 children, and grew up in a 2-parent household, pretty traditional family, I guess you would say. And so my role in that family system, so I'm the youngest, so there's definitely like the jokes that go along with like being the youngest, and everybody kind of thought I got the easy way out on a lot of things. But also there's about 9 years between my brother, who's the oldest, and then myself. So like when I was 9 years old, he moved out and went to college. So I kind of grew up half my life without him in the house, obviously part of the family and things like that. And so there's some interesting dynamics just within the siblings, but then also, so my oldest is the brother, and then there's 3 girls. So there's a lot of disconnect sometimes between that brother being the oldest sibling, and then the rest of us being the 3 girls that kind of, since we're girls, we get along really well, and we do a lot of things together and things like that. So that makes a difference. So that dynamic is interesting. I'd say my role in the family is kind of the observer and kind of the caretaker in a way too, because I still live in the town where I grew up, and my mom still lives in the town where I grew up, and all my siblings live much further away. And so I'm kind of, my mom is still alive and well and lively and things like that, but kind of the caretaker and kind of the person that fills in those shoes. And then also a dynamic that kind of factors into that is that my father passed away suddenly about 4 or 5 years ago now. And so that kind of threw everything for a loop too. And so in that transition, or when that happened, that's when I really noticed that I started taking on kind of that caretaker role, especially for my mother, and just kind of being like the in between my siblings and my mom a lot of the times. So it's an interesting dynamic, like all families are, and so how I think that will affect how I work with clients is that coming from a big family, I can understand kind of family dynamics and things like that. And I think every family kind of goes through their own bumps in the road and things like that, and our family certainly has too. So just kind of taking into account, like, families have many personalities within that family personality, if you will. And so I think I can understand how there are many people that kind of make up a family, and there can be a lot of differences and a lot of similarities. So just focusing on strengths and individual strengths, as well as strengths of the family, would be useful. So anyways, I don't have any other burning questions or any burning questions so far, but I'm really looking forward to diving into this stuff and working with the rest of you.